like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 love.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Now, this isn't a review. I hope everyone had a great Thursday. It is basically it's midnight, so it's Friday. I'm hoping everyone has a great weekend. I'm so sick and tired of Monique and her goddamn antics. I mean, look, she was on The Breakfast Club. She was also on The View. And I feel like she's done more interviews about her boycotting Netflix than she's done goddamn comedy shows. I mean, I am really tired of it. I'm tired of her antics. I am tired of her. I won't say she's playing victim because everyone knows that women are paid less, but I feel like she again is using it to her advantage and she wants everyone to feel sad for her, and it just aggravates me. It is so much, you know. She was on The Breakfast Club. The interview does not air until tomorrow. However, but she was live from her Periscope. That's the first thing that made me mad, simply because I know that she goes live from her Periscope a lot when she does things. But I feel like when you are working on a interview that has not aired yet, you kind of scoop the station. And we all know The Breakfast Club pre-records most of their interviews, just because of, timing or whatever like that. So you went live for an interview. So basically no one will tune in tomorrow to catch it on The Breakfast Club. I mean, I think I am, simply because I want to just see it, not from her damn Periscope view. And, the way that she still is not answering the question she's being asked. Her and Charlemagne had a completely tense back and forth, and I feel like Charlemagne, people were posting, oh, she checked Charlemagne and she put him in his place. I don't think she did that. I think Charlemagne asked logical questions and Monique responded in a I'm better than you kind of way, and you're an idiot kind of way. And he just didn't feed into her antics. I think people wanted him to go off on her and put her in her place. But at the end of the day, he respected her as someone's mother, as an older woman. And the whole my loves, my sister, my brother, how she kept calling him Leonard, which is his real name. I felt like it was all things that she was trying to do to poke the bear because she wants people to see him in a different light. I'm a fan of Charlemagne's. I watched The Breakfast Club for a long, long time. I remember a long time ago when he was with Wendy Williams on her radio show. Can he be an asshole? Absolutely. But I can be an asshole too. Is he not always right? He's not always right. No one ever is. Hell, even sometimes I'm wrong. But however, I do think her saying he doesn't have any kind of respect for black women is utter bullshit. And I feel like she used those trigger words to make people think something. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is she was upset because he gave her donkey of the day for asking people to boycott Netflix for gender and racial bias. That man is entitled to his opinion. For her to make it seem as if because he gave her donkey of the day that he was being disrespectful, that means he doesn't respect women. That means he does not respect black women. It's utter bullshit. You were a fucking donkey for what you said. My thing is, she kept bringing up, but did you read the whole this and the whole that? Did you see the contract, the emails we put out about Netflix? Did you read? He said, no, I didn't read all of that. And my thing is, we shouldn't have to read all this bullshit. We understand the deal Netflix gave you was a crock of bullshit. We understand that. No one said that you should have automatically took the $500,000 and then shut the fuck up. No one said that. Everyone, for the most part, said, "Oh, she do it need more than 500,000. The reason people are still clowning Monique is because she can't answer a simple question as to why does she deserve 13, 14, 15 million or 20 million like Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, or Amy Schumer. And she keeps saying stuff, well, my resume is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And that doesn't matter. Simply because when she was on The View, Whoopi Goldberg was a crock of bullshit. When Joy said to her, Amy Schumer sold out the, Madison Square Gardens and this and this and this, and they paid her that amount of money because they knew her comedy special would get butts in the seat and it'll make them money. For Monique to say, well, I'm Monique, I can get butts in the seat. If Monique came out with a movie today, just starring her, this gonna sound harsh, people. It ain't gonna sell out. If Monique came out with a comedy special, if Monique was going on tour and she wanted to book Madison Square Gardens, and she wanted to book Ford Field here in Detroit, and she wanted to book the Little Caesars Arena here in Detroit, and she wanted to book wherever the Nets play, the Brooklyn Nets play, the Barclays Center in New York, if she wanted to any big place, she couldn't do it simply because she does not have that kind of pull. It doesn't mean that if she wanted to book a little place, she couldn't book a little place. We have Masonic Temple here. I don't think she can do the Fox, but we have a couple of little places that can seat maybe 1,000 people. She can do that. You not selling out nowhere where you need 50,000 people, or you're not doing that, Monique. And it doesn't mean that you're not a legend. It doesn't mean that you're not a great person. It doesn't mean that you're not funny, but you don't have the same pull that you used to have. She keeps bringing up, I was in Precious. I won an award for Precious. I was in the last, what's it called? Last Holiday? Perfect Holiday? Whatever the damn holiday movie was with her in an ensemble cast. She keeps bringing up things. She brought up the Queens of Comedy. She brought up how, we sold out the Queens. The Queens of Comedy was like 20 years ago. Okay? And not every person who's a legend can garner 14 million, 15 million, 20 million. And what I liked is that Charlemagne said to her, if you compare Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, and Amy Schumer's comedy spots, as far as who brought the most money in, where do you rank? She knew damn well she ranked a -15. She knew that. But what she kept saying was, well, I was in this movie, The Holiday. That wasn't your movie, Mama. You were part of an ensemble cast. I am sick and tired of her going on talk show after talk show after interview after interview after interview. And she's making it seem like, well, I was blackballed. Because when Charlemagne asked her, why, is any other networks sending you offers? Netflix gave you a fucked up offer. We know it was a fucked up offer. Has anyone else came to you with an offer? She couldn't even really specifically answer that question. All she kind of said was, I was blackballed. So, of course, it's hard for me to get offers. But I think she won't admit to the fact for the reason she was blackballed. She is just difficult. And I'm not saying that she don't deserve better. I'm not saying that, pay equality isn't accurate. I'm not saying that the reason she's saying what she's saying isn't valid. I'm saying you doing it for some selfish ass reasons. When they kept saying, Wanda Sykes said she was offered, $250,000 or a little bit less than $250,000. No one said they offered her that like 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Or years and years ago. It wasn't as if they offered Wanda Sykes that amount of money on Tuesday and then offered Monique that money on Wednesday. It was a long time in between. Even Charlemagne said, the people said that the person who was in charge when Wanda was offered that amount of money isn't even there anymore. They even said currently that's not what they will offer Wanda Sykes. And the reason I'm not fucking with Monique is because, as I said before, if they would have gave her what she asked for, she wouldn't have gave a fuck about them not paying Wanda Sykes, but she wanted. She wouldn't care. Monique is on this Monique is on this feel sorry for me tour because she can't book a comedy tour. Because think about this. If someone offered you a little bit amount of money and you knew for a fact that you can bring in butts to the seat, you knew that you could do way more than that, you would say, you know what? Fuck you. Let me show you the money that you just missed out on. She ain't gonna do that. No, she's not. She gonna go on Periscope Live. She gonna go on T.S. Madison and China show. Lord Jesus. T.S. Madison and Kaya show. She gonna go on The View. She gonna go on The Breakfast Club. She gonna go on Hot 97. She gonna go on Swag. She gonna go on all these radio shows talking about how unfair she is. But her ass ain't booked not one comedy show. I haven't heard or seen a clip or seen shit about Monique doing nothing except talking about this. Netflix wouldn't pay me enough money. It's this and this, this and this and this. And my thing is, if someone won't pay you what you're worth, show them how much you're worth and then say fuck you. But she's not going to do that because she can't. But she can book interviews talking about it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Then Angela brought up like, okay, let's get off, the Netflix stuff. People have said over the years how you're difficult to work with. What do you say about that? Well, I would say, produce anyone who said this about me. And, I would tell them, let's sit down and talk about it. She still couldn't really answer the question as to why. She was saying things as if, when I'm on the set and if someone is being mean to someone else, I can't allow that to happen. So I take the brunt of being the bully because I'm defending people. Well, the people you've been defending, where they at? Why haven't they spoken up? You know what I'm saying? And then at one point, she brought up Will Packard, Angela Yee did. Monique ass said, because Angela said, no, people have said that you have this issue, but no one has ever said anything bad like that about Lee Daniels, about Will Packard, about Oprah Winfrey. No one said anything negative about them. Why does everyone say things negative about you? Honey, Monique then said, well, no one said anything negative about Harvey Weinstein. What the fuck that got to do? And the problem I have with that is you can't put certain people in certain categories. To bring up Will Packard, Oprah Winfrey, or Lee Daniels' name in the same equation as Harvey Weinstein, who is a sex offender. Like he was sexually he was sexually assaulting people. Why would you put that even in the same sentence? And Charlemagne even said, I'm not gonna let you you can't put Will Packard and Harvey Weinstein in the same goddamn basket. You can't do that. You can't say, well, Will Packard no one's gonna speak up against him the same way nobody spoke up about Harvey Weinstein all them years. You can't, because that's like you're saying he's a monster and no one's going to speak out because they're scared that their career is going to be messed up. I call bullshit on The View. She did the same thing. I think Joy asked her something about whatever, and she said it's the same thing as when, what did she say, when they want you to do something and you won't do it. She said, it reminds me of all the women who, with the Me Too movement. And, it's the equivalent of, well, if you go up to someone's room, you're going to get fucked or whatever. And she tried to, again, equate her situation with women who have been assaulted in Harvey Weinstein. And I loved that Whoopi stopped her and said, let me stop you. And she stopped her before she can get it fully out. Because she said that a few other times. And if you think about it, every interview Monique does, she has these key talking points. And no matter what question they ask her, she's giving these same answers in different ways. And she's still not even answering the goddamn questions at all. You know what I'm saying? At one point when the funny part about it is you could tell that Whoopi was aggravated and kind of agitated with the things that Monique was saying. Monique was saying how I did Precious. Again, she keeps going back to Precious from 8 years ago. I did Precious. Lee Daniels paid me $50,000. That's what I was supposed to be paid. I did my stuff contractually. And then I said, I'm done. Whoopi then said to her, had you called me, I would have explained how things go. She said, when you sign on to do a movie, even if you're paid this certain amount of money, for the most part, they still expect you to go out and promote the movie. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that part isn't in the contract. It's kind of just expected of people. And Monique is saying, well, I didn't want to do that. But I found it funny. You wouldn't go on the road to promote Precious, but you're on a goddamn promotion tour going from point A to point B, from New York to California, talking about a goddamn let's boycott Netflix. And then anyone who doesn't agree with you, you feel like they're either beneath you, they're blinded, they're no longer your sister, your brother, they aren't my love. You call Charlemagne like a puppet, how he wants to be the guru of black culture and all this other bullshit. It was just stupid. I felt like she tried to play him, and I like how he didn't feed into it. You know what I'm saying? He kept throwing questions at her that her ass couldn't answer. I think she wanted him to get upset, and he didn't. She kept calling him Lenar. She kept mispronouncing his name, Charlemagne, like she don't know what it is. She don't know what them old ass glasses like. Look, Monique just gets on my goddamn nerve at this point, simply because sometimes you want people to shut up and work. And I don't mean that in the aspect how someone told LeBron James to shut up and dribble. I mean, if you are a comedian and you want to do your craft and you want to be booked for shows and you want to go out and make your fans laugh, then go out and do that. But you haven't done that. What you've done is go from talk show to radio host and say the exact same thing. Netflix won't pay me more than $500,000 and it's unfair. It was an unfair deal. You know how many deals be unfair? You know how many people get paid people at McDonald's getting paid less than they should be getting paid. People at working at Payless shoe store getting paid less than they should get paid. You either accept an offer or you do not. But you can't make it seem as if your offer is racist and gender biased because they don't see how much, they don't think you have fans. I'm just be honest. They don't think people want to see you. Okay, let's just be honest. They don't think that if they pay you $5 million, that people gonna be willing to come watch you for $5 million, because I don't think they will either. Again, I think Monique can sell out little comedy clubs. Okay, that's it. She brings up, why hasn't Netflix had any black comedians do comedy shows? I loved how Angela, you brought up, but they just paid, Shonda Rhimes, Ava DuVernay millions, and they are black women, millions to create content for Netflix. So you can't say it's racist, racial, race and gender bias, because they're paying women millions to do things on the network. They ain't paid your ass. When she brought up, well, there are other black comedians. She brought up other comedians who have probably been on a while. They're just not popular as a Dave Chappelle and as a Chris Rock. As I told before, I don't watch fucking Amy Schumer. But again, she sold out Madison Square Gardens. That's the reason. Monique ain't probably sold out the Apollo. Okay, the Queens of Comedy was about 20 years ago, and she keeps talking about, well, this is my resume. Your resume don't matter, boo-boo, when they're looking for what you can bring to the table. And it's business. It's strictly business. And she don't get it. And it's just frustrating because I don't like when we, as black people, do fucked up shit and make fucked up mistakes, and people don't agree with things we do or we say, and then we as black people feel like, as Monique is making it seem, because Charlemagne does not agree with the way she's doing things, he doesn't respect black people or black women. That's not fair to say. That man can't have an opinion and not agree with what you're doing. It's all fuckery and bullshit, and it's cheesing them goddamn trigger words. And then to say, well, if your mother and your grandmother can attest to pay inequality, would you call them a donkey? And he said, well, no. But my thing is, he didn't call you a donkey for about pay inequality. He called you a donkey because you made it seem like you deserve this big pay period, this big paycheck, and you ain't been booking no shows. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been booking no shows, Monique, and that's the reason he gave you donkey the other day, because as he kept saying to her, if you can tell me why you feel like you deserve these many millions when you haven't sold out any comedy shows recently? If you could explain that to me, I'll get it. She couldn't even do it. She kept bringing up Precious, Queens of Comedy, My Resume, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and the shit didn't add up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It didn't. And she just kept going and going and going. I'm really, really over it. It really aggravated me. I listened to the interview on my way home. I then came home and watched The View and saw her on there. Both of them, I feel like she, again, is repeating the same rhetoric, and she won't ever get it. I just wonder, when is the Monique? I can't wait for her to do a special and just see the numbers. Okay? Because if she blow out the park, then bravo, she has proved Netflix wrong and any naysayers wrong. Hell, including myself. My thing is, you won't even book a show to prove people wrong. You won't even do that. But you'll book a goddamn interview. You wouldn't fly around for Precious, but you would fly around to talk about Netflix. And it's my thing is, all this talking she doing isn't going to make Netflix offer her any money. You know, all this talking she doing ain't not near other outlets offer. Well, we know Netflix offer you $500,000. We'll pay you $5 million. No one has done that. So my thing is, the issue isn't Netflix, boo-boo. It's not. It's you, my love. You know? So I just had to share my feelings about it. Did not mean to go on for 21 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be back shortly to do my review for Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. And other than that, my loves, my brothers, my sisters, I love you for real. Peace.